For us, I feel like a lot of what we're trying to do now is less of that, hey, come here, look at me, hey, come here, look at me, and a lot more of the implied or the subtle and the, we want you to show a genuine interest in us for longer than it takes you to like blow your nose, right? Then to get like those, that hot thing, right? Because it's going to take people time to get through the process, and we want people to take time to go through the process. So from that thought process of how we want our community to work, how we want the brand to work, it made more sense to me to keep it subtle and to keep it more, you know, I guess highbrow mature, so that when people do find us and they look and they're like, man, like this isn't cheesy at all. Like these guys have a legit site. They, I can see what they have an about us section with actual content there. They have whatever gaming content they have on their homepage, if we even do that, or they have a nice members, like a join now section or a good informative stuff like that that you would find in like actual good solid content. And that was kind of one side. The other side is that when you Google things like Apex or Apex Gaming and those trying to find like a community, part of what affects that is your SEO ranking, and that's your search engine optimization rating. And you can use things like tagging, meta tagging, keywords, your own site content, and all that stuff to optimize your website to rank higher on search engine results. So the things that actually influence that are SEO, not necessarily the domain name or even the site description. Um, and then kind of my third point about that was this is going to be something that we say all the time, right? Like, and maybe not all the time, but it's going to be said enough. When people say, hey, like, where do I find out more about you guys? It's going to be whatever our domain name is, right? And if we make our domain name sound too much like what people would expect a gaming community's name to sound, I fear that that would become our name to those people.
Well, the I guess the counter, or I get what you're saying. The counter argument to that would be, for the longest time, our website was Killer Instinct Gaming. The whole thing spelled out,
Right.
right? And for the longest time when I was in here, nobody referred to us as Killer Instinct Gaming. No, everyone referred to us as KI,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I get what you're saying. I think a lot of that is based on, what we call ourselves. Because more recently, people have. I'm the only one who still calls us KI. That was something we used to all call ourselves years ago. Now it's more Killer Instinct Gaming, KIG, whatever, whatever, whatever. So I think a large part of that is what we dictate, as opposed to what they call us. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know whether I agree that people would just automatically call us by our domain name because it's convenient. I think we would have to set that we would have to set that standard. Am I making sense, or do I just sound like I'm completely disagreeing with everything you're saying?
No.
'Cause I can't
Yes.
shut up.
No. No. It's yes and no. Like I, I know. I get where the concern is. I don't know if the solution meets your concern.
I I I don't know if I'm understanding it properly, or if I'm just too freaking old school and stupid. But I think we're entirely overthinking a domain name because when it boils down to it, we want people to get on the website. We don't want them to sit and overanalyze our domain name. We want them to type the stupid thing in and go to our website and check it out. And we don't want them to sit and check, oh, look at their domain name. I wonder what that means. Let's sit here and read their domain name and try to figure it out. Just type the damn domain name in and go to our website and see what the fuck we're about. That's what we want. Am I just not getting something, or am I just lost, or
I
what?
want
I
to feel
mean,
I want to feel attached to our domain name the same way I feel attached to our logo. Because based on what you're saying, then why are we spending so much time talking about a logo? We might as well
That's
just throw a massive A on our site.
because the logo we see all the time. The domain name, I type in killerinstinctgaming.com. I don't even type the whole thing in. I type in KIL and it pops up the whole thing on my computer and I hit enter and I'm done with it. I don't pay attention to it, to be honest with you. I don't even pay attention to it because it's automatically on my computer. I just type in like the first three letters and hit enter and I'm on our website. So I don't even pay attention to our domain name, to be honest with you.
I think the
But
reason
our logo pops up huge, and I love that.
right. Well, I think the
So,
reason
I mean, I,
the the
I get where
reason
you're coming from, Shaq. I do.
I'm not saying that you're wrong, but there's a certain amount of consistency that you want to have in the quality of what you do. And I think that we all care a tremendous a lot about it, which can lead us a lot into rabbit holes, and it's kind of feeling like a rabbit hole. But at the same time, I think why Tick and I, whether consciously or subconsciously, are kind of adamant about our stances on it is because your domain name is part of your brand identity. Because it's going to be what we put out there to everybody, right? Like at the end, like you said, if on a social gaming network, on a gaming forum, on our profiles, on everything, it's not just going to be an Apex logo. It's going to be whatever the domain name is, and that is going to become a synonymous part of your brand. So do we need to grind over it? Not necessarily, but do I feel like there's merit in making sure it's good? Absolutely. I didn't put the time into
well, no,
thinking
that
about
I understand that. We have grinded over it for a week now. So what needs to happen is
two
since
days.
no, it's been a week now, or 5 days. Since, in my opinion, this is just my opinion for what it's worth, you and Tick have the vast interest in the domain name. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, Thrill, Scooters, and Deluxe. You guys, we've all
I
put
care
input
as
in
well.
it. I understand. Okay, we all put input into it. I think what needs to happen is some common ground needs to be found at this point, and we need to go with it. Meet somewhere in the middle and go with it. I mean, because I mean, we're at a stalemate here, and we're not producing anything anymore on this subject. I mean, so let's find a common ground in the middle somewhere and just go with something that everybody will be at least halfway happy with. You know what
Well,
I'm
let's
saying?
let's answer that question. Do we need, take my opinion out of it, do we need some sort of descriptive attachment in the name Scooters Deluxe Thrills?
Hmm.
Yes.
I'm kind of biased on
No.
it. I came up with it. I don't know.
You guys want to
I like
elaborate a
it.
touch? Because that's our common ground. Once you figure out whether we want to get descriptive with it or not, I think I think we're gonna reach a name pretty darn quickly.
My
Because it's
vote
not.
is to keep it simple.
So where's the common ground if we're essentially split?
Yeah, we all like Apex.
Well, I don't. So here's the other part of it, Tick. I don't feel like we're split in wanting it to be descriptive. I think we're split in how we want it to be descriptive.
I tell you, there is one that the majority have liked. People that I hear have liked of you guys, and it's We Are Apex.
I don't mind that one at all. I do like
Well, I've heard
Apex in
Thrill
general.
like it. I've heard Scooters like it. I've heard Tick like it. I've heard AJ say he likes it. I haven't heard Deluxe's opinion on it, and I like it.
I'm
So
torn
why
between
haven't
both
we
of
been?
them.
How come we haven't been analyzing We Are Apex? What's wrong with that one?
Nothing really. It's good. I just understand what Tick's saying as well. As far as I understand, we're not trying to put ourselves out there and mass recruit and all that, but just from me searching Apex on Google, just type in Apex, man, there's so much stuff that pops up, so much stuff, and that just kind of sets us apart. I mean, sure, you're not going to type in "We Are Apex" and find anything but our site, but still, it kind of tells what we are just if they look at that domain name. But it is long, so I don't know. It is actually kind of a long one. I don't know. I have a biased opinion. I like them both.